It has been a while since I sat in front of this camera. I think it's been 8 months. I've been really busy. Car runs though, not the greatest, but it does run. But that's everybody. You gotta start somewhere. So it runs. A little bit of head noise, but we'll figure that out here in the coming weeks. But I'm still in school. I am in school for mechanical engineering technology, and I was on a co-op rotation, so I was not living where the car is. So I then couldn't work on the car. So it's been a while, but I've had little bits and pieces I've pieced together since then, like on weekends when I was home and stuff like that. But nothing major, I would say. Over the summer, I'm in town, and I plan on trying to film and post as often as possible. I know there are some people who are excited to see what happens with this. So, well, I guess without further ado, let's dive into it. I did something the other night. I pulled out a bunch of subwoofer wiring, which you'll see shortly, and then we're gonna start some more body work. I fixed a lot of this door gap, which I don't think you can see right here. The door opens, heading the fender now, but it looks like absolute garbage because it is all creased and dented and stuff. So I think I'm gonna start with the fender that I already did some Bondo on, and I'm just gonna sand the whole thing down. I think I won't tell you the color yet, but I have an idea of what I want to repaint the car. I'm probably gonna paint it myself, so it might not come out the best, but as a start to at least be able to cover up all the body work and have the car be one color. I hate this livery. I know it's some people like it, but I'm personally not a fan whatsoever. I want one solid color. I think the car looks a lot better, and then we'll do wheels. It's already got suspension, so anyway, too much talking. We've got some brakes to do as well, but for now, let's jump into the wiring removal, and then we'll do some body work.
So I guess I should explain why I am pulling all of this wiring out. This is all from the previous owner, or owners. I don't know if it was the guy before me or before him, but a lot of this wiring is not fully disconnected. So like there's a lot of grounds connected, but it still goes up towards the battery, and none of it's terminated when he removed the subwoofers before, well, whoever it was removed the subwoofers before they got rid of the car. None of the wires are properly terminated, and I was worried it was a fire hazard. So it's been bothering me for a while, so I decided to take the time to go ahead and pull apart what I needed to of the interior to remove it, just for that peace of mind that nothing was ever going to arc or create a fire in the backseat of the car. I ended up removing like 3.5 pounds of wire, so I mean, that can't hurt. I also ended up removing a bunch of the sound deadening under the rear seat, as it had just fully disintegrated. But all in all, was not anywhere near as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be connected to a bunch more stuff underneath the seats and stuff, but it all came out pretty straightforward, and I was able to finish that up and then move on to the next project. Now beginning with the body work, started off with 60 grit with an orbital sander. Now I know you're thinking, orbital sanders suck. Well yeah, you're right, but it shortly only got worse.
So I don't know how well what happened in that last clip came across on camera. The head of my orbital sander exploded. Caught me in the leg, but I'm fine. But so I had to stop and go buy another one. But we'll resume shortly. Oh. Oh. Jesus. Alright, so, a little close. As it sits, I've done 2 passes with 60, and I'm working on 120 right now. This still is definitely going to need a lot of work, but the rest of the panel's coming along. Being able to see all like the high spots and low spots. I think I'm probably going to do one more pass with 120, and then I'm going to break out the Bondo and see what I can do about all of this garbage, but stay tuned.
Is it really that humid out here?
I don't think it's that humid. I mean, I guess the basement's cold. Oh, come on. No, wrong way. Don't do that. So, okay. No fender. So, I had a thing. It's been a couple days since you last saw me sanding. The next day, oh my god, this camera. What the the next day, I'm still foggy, aren't I? Alright. No foggy. I found a dude the day after I was doing all that sanding, and he had something for sale that I want to show you. So, you know, I was working on this here destroyed fender. Well, I got something to show you. Boom! Pretty much brand new. You can't even see me. It's so straight. Here, I'll stand way back here. Oh shit. She's mint. So, no rust. You can see from the back. Clean. Not even a ding in it. In addition to that, we also, mind you, I was all for fixing it, but like it gets to a point where it's like, part was so cheap that like, stupid not to buy. Turn and sell it for more. A bumper too, because my bumper is split. Now they're both black and both in great shape. So what that means is that not doing body work on this fender. I will mock up this new fender and show you. And then I think we're going to spend the rest of today's video, or this video, taking the rear bumper off, because I've never taken it off. I don't know how it comes off. So this video will have been all over the place. Taking apart the interior, taking the bumper off, doing fender body work, whatever. We're getting back in the swing of things. I'm not in the habit of filming, so trying to get back in it. But we're going to start with taking the bumper off.
This was one of those jobs that it really helped that I had the new replacement part to put on the car, because attacking it, I had done no research. I had no idea how this bumper went on and off, but I had the new bumper, which had all the mounting hardware and brackets included with it, so I was able to look at that and find, oh hey, it's still held on here, 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 and here. As it turned out, there were 5 bolts along the rear end of the car, right below where the trim mounts, and then there was like 8 bolts per mud flap, and then a couple for the fender, the lower part of the fender, as well as 4 bolts underneath the flat part of the fender, right underneath where mine says turbo. I broke almost every single bolt. I was using a 1/4-inch ratchet. They just all were rusted, and the hardware was garbage at this point, but I broke a lot of bolts doing this bumper, so enjoy watching me struggle. This part is honestly where I struggled the most, mainly because, as I mentioned, I didn't look anything up. So hopefully you don't make the same mistake I did if you also have a Supra. I spent probably 5 minutes pulling on this bumper just for it not to come off, and it turns out I had completely forgotten one of the bolts that I was telling you about, the 5 bolts that are all in a line right above where my car says turbo. So I spent quite a while yanking, pulling, yelling at this bumper, only for there still to be a bolt attached, which you see me undoing. But after all in all was off, there was a little bit of frame damage, but I'm not really surprised. This car lived a rough life before I bought it, so I really not all that surprised. But we're gonna put the new bumper on and see how it looks.
It's on. Looks so much better than this one, because this one you see, you see the spider webbing, and then obviously the corner was just fucking busted. The only downside is that I snapped pretty much every single bolt taking it off, so it's held on with zip ties, but it does make me aware of how much work I'm gonna have. Just 'cause I know the car has been hit here before. It's also why there's a, well, that comes across on camera, yeah, bit of a dent right there. But progress is progress, and I'm happy with it. So, dark. Next thing would be, I want to mount that fender, the fender I have, so that will be on the car. But I have to do some more massaging of the door first for that to fit properly. And then car drives great. It's just it doesn't want to stay cold no matter like what. Like it likes to overheat, let's just put it that way. I've never actually let it get above, like close to, so on most circumstances, the highest it gets is like just slightly above, above operating temp enough that it's worrisome. But I think that's because I don't have a shroud on my radiator, because my car didn't come with one. So I found a Mishimoto thing from Real Street that's a shroud and 2 thin 35 mil fans that I'll get to wire up, which I've wanted to do. I wanted to put a switch panel in, stuff like that. I mean, stupid stuff that I've never got to do, but I've always thought it was fun. Looks race car-y, but I mean, the car needs it to function. So maybe that'll be next. If not that, then I have, where are they? Pads and rotors for all 4 corners in the back. So one of those 2 will be next. Depends on what I get around to next, but I hope you guys are looking forward to a lot of content this summer. I'm excited to work on the car. I've been missing it. There'll be some GTI content. I need to do gaskets and stuff on that car. It has been great, super reliable while I was on co-op, but it needs some work. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks everybody who made it this far. Thanks for watching. I'm excited for what's coming in the future, but for now, I'll see ya.